as you have evolved the state disability strategy, and the purpose was to provide them equal opportunities.
Absolutely.
As you talked about human rights. And that's the bare minimum principles you started with. And how do you see it progressing with the equally compelling arguments or compelling disability funding, which comes from the Commonwealth versus the state? So how do you see that playing in that space?
I think the NDIS has got some major design flaws, very, very major design flaws, and it is being neutered quite badly at the moment. When it was first established, we had a levy applied to our incomes to fund what was going to be the NDIS, which was the bells and whistles system. And I was significantly involved in the design right at the very start of it. Worked very closely with Bill Shorten and Jenny Macklin, who were the designers of the system in the Labour Party back many years ago. So what we designed was a system that was going to make disability funding very, very significant. It was all going to be individually centered and designed by the needs of each individual. No two packages would be the same because it catered for that particular person. What we've seen over the years is because we've removed that funding of the levy on our incomes, the NDIS has to line up like every other process in government for funding every year. That's a major problem in itself, because your focus then becomes saving money at the government level rather than providing the best system that will accommodate this. So that's one design flaw. The other design flaw is that NDIS is designed in exactly the same fashion as Centrelink and Medicare. Centrelink and Medicare are based on what is known as your average person. Your average person with average level of disability is allowed funding of X number of dollars per hour. On that basis, everyone who has disability is allowed the same level of funding for an hourly basis. The people that need more services will require much higher levels of funding, but they're not going to get it because we're relying on this average. So there is a design flaw. The system we had in WA was significantly better. The DSC system was hugely better. It was a very, very good system, and a lot of our procedures and processes have been taken into the federal government in the NDIS. So the idea of the local area coordinator, the idea of the planner, all that was something that we designed here in WA. That's been taken across federally. But they haven't taken the philosophy behind the system, which was, here's a person with disability, and let's design a package that suits that person, and then the next person, and then the next person. It is not an average that says every person's going to be given this amount per hour. It is, what does that person need? What is reasonable and necessary in that person's case, and work it from there.
So what do you think it has, they are design flaws, but do you think the NDIS has gone away from the purpose? The purpose was providing equal opportunities, equal services, and better funding, and put them in a place or give them those opportunities by giving the right funding so that they can live a fuller life.
Look, the ideas behind and the philosophy behind the NDIS are still valid. We need to make sure that there is a cultural shift in the organization. We need to make sure that there is a cultural shift in government around how we value NDIS. So we should not be about saying we have spent $4.5 billion on NDIS systems and packages. What we should be saying is, what have we got out of it? We have got 25,000 people more into the workplace. We have got 30,000 more into the education system as a result of the fact that they've got a package which allows them to take their wheelchair, or they've got access to blind software that allows them to attend a lecture and be able to follow everything that's going on. So again, that focus has to be very much on outcome.